get these guys to move. No, that's right.
You have 1 minute left in your setup. I would like to remind observers and judges to turn off cell phones and other handheld devices. Also, please note that no one may leave the room once the presentation has begun. You may now begin your presentation.
In Canada, approximately 300,000 people per year come for education, economic opportunity, and access to one of the most beautiful environments in the world.
Why? Because according to U.S. News and World Reports, Canada is the third best country in the world. And we're proud to say that we live in a free, diverse, and economically stable country.
People come to Calgary for the same reason that they come to Canada. Because according to The Economist, Calgary is the 4th most livable city in the world.
And according to Forbes magazine, it's the cleanest as well.
Calgary is home to more than 1.3 million people, 28% of which are born outside of Canada, resulting in approximately 150 languages spoken in our city. Marhaba, أنا اسمي نينار.
Konnichiwa, watashi wa Kai desu.
Sawadee-ka, Pomcha Raijo.
Hello, my name is Garrett.
At Enactus SAIT, our team of 43 diverse students came together with one common goal:
To improve the world and ignite our limitless potential.
And we believe education is the key to unlocking that limitless potential.
In the words of Malcolm X, education is the passport to the future, where tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today.
But how can we prepare for the future and unlock that potential?
First, we wanted to start somewhere familiar to all of us on our campus with 5 projects.
Case Clash. Our annual business case competition educates high school students about how to use business knowledge and empowers them to apply this knowledge to improve a local business.
Business beyond borders. We've traveled to developing countries, educating international entrepreneurs by sharing our wealth of knowledge about sustainable business practices that mirror our curriculum at SAIT.
Impact Hub. We are working to facilitate the reintegration of the homeless population into society through the use of a cloud-based software and point system that will reward positive habits and lead to opportunities for employment and housing.
We're Enactus SAIT, and we recognize that education is the platform that makes it possible to overcome barriers.
So please, join us on our journey through 2 of our projects here at SAIT, starting with Think Beyond High School.
There are 2 million students in Canada. As a part of that student body, we fully appreciate the challenges that students face every day.
Challenges such as anxiety, stress, pressure, and while mental health is no longer invisible to our society, our approach can be reactive and sometimes comes too late.
According to the National College Health Statistics in 2013, 60% of students across Canada have expressed that they felt so depressed it was difficult to function, and nearly 3/4 have experienced overwhelming anxiety.
In addition to that, the Mental Health Commission of Canada states that a major contributor to stress and anxiety is the lack of academic preparation. This report also recognizes that mental health challenges intensify during the transition into post-secondary. In fact, 60% of Canadian students wish that they had more preparation for post-secondary.
These numbers show that mental health is a crisis on every campus, showcasing the need for better education to enable positive change.
What needed to be done became clear to us when a conversation in our team became a campus-wide discussion, where students from all backgrounds began to say the very same things.
To be honest,
I wish we were taught how to apply for student loans.
to be honest,
I wish we were taught to effectively manage finances for post-secondary.
to be honest,
We wish that we were taught to think beyond high school.
And that is how our project TBH came to be.
our project is designed to fill the gap of transitional education from secondary to post-secondary by developing a curriculum that can be implemented in Calgary high schools. The course that should be providing exactly what we aim to do is a course that most of us are familiar with.
COM, or Career and Life Management. This is a general outline of the curriculum as developed by Alberta Education. This course aims to provide students with the knowledge, tools, and skills necessary for life after high school and career preparation through 3 modules: personal choices, career and life choices, and resource choices.
While the aim and outcomes of this course are consistent with our vision, how they are attained and whether this course is helping students is questionable. According to Alberta Education's rationale and philosophy for COM, the outcomes and objectives are standardized, yet how they're achieved remains up to each individual school.
The outline of this course offers optional objectives, such as basic syntax and budgeting and time management. This means that students across Alberta aren't getting the consistency and level of education they need to set them on an even playing field to succeed.
We wanted to confirm whether a needs assessment was relevant to current high school students, or if COM needed to do more to support the transition into post-secondary. We surveyed students at Sait and at various high schools across Calgary and found that 90% of Sait students and 89% of high school students wish that they had more preparation for post-secondary as part of their curriculum.
We decided to take action. We developed seminars that presented informative and interactive sessions on topics that surveyed students wish they knew more about, including but not limited to topics such as
Our funding and our finances,
Time management,
Post-secondary experiences,
and even basic budgeting.
our project Think Beyond High School began just in December. And so far, we have presented a total of 5 sessions to 96 students. And what we found was astounding.
in just 2 sessions of 51 students at a high school, we discovered that only 2% knew what a grant was, and none of the students knew what a loan was or even how to apply for one.
in order to assess whether our sessions were useful and provided the participants with necessary knowledge, we conducted follow-up surveys. The following is a list of our results.
90% found our information sessions useful and say they gained knowledge about a concept that they could later apply, such as how to effectively manage finances.
100% learned what a student loan was and where to obtain the resources for applications.
And 89% wish that TBH was part of their high school curriculum.
Through multiple information sessions and research, and with the help of academic advisors, we are currently finalizing the subjects to be covered in our curriculum, which include the post-secondary essentials to success and ways to enhance the current COM program.
Once we are sure our project has been successful in Calgary, we can scale this project province-wide.
Through TBH, our goal is to increase student retention and improve mental health by providing the preparation needed for post-secondary. As we see in CBC News, students are feeling more stressed with the lack of preparation. As such, our goal is to help those students, and through our surveys, we found that 66% of students or participants felt more comfortable, and approximately 50% felt less stressed about the challenges ahead of them.
This is just the beginning. By analyzing the information gathered from our pilot sessions and with the help of academic advisors, we are currently working towards sustainable growth through digital platforms for our curriculum.
But while TVH is addressing the mental health needs of our youth, we, as a team, knew we had many more challenges to address. Challenges such as the sustainability of a healthy environment.
Thus, our educational journey shifted its focus towards our campus recycling program.
Plastics are everywhere. They encompass a wide variety of materials and permeate our lives 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Our reliance on plastics has become so serious that last year, productions of plastics exceeded 450 million tons globally.
50% of plastics are considered single-use. Despite so much being made, we aren't doing our job of recycling it. Globally, only 14% of plastics are recycled on average. Yet in Canada, the average is a mere 11%.
Wait, so then where does the remaining 89% of Canadian plastics end up?
19% gets incinerated, but the remainder ends up in two places: landfills and the environment Canadians are so proud to be known for.
This problem is so dire that we must all act now or suffer the consequences later. But at Enactus SAIT, we have developed one part of the solution.
To start, we wanted to tackle the issue of plastic waste on our campus, to prove our model and designs, and to make sure what we were doing could be scaled.
With data from audits on our campus facility management, we are able to estimate 300 to 400 kilograms of plastic waste were exiting campus daily through our landfill-directed trash.
Once we knew how much we had to potentially work with, we could begin.
And so began Project Hatchet.
Project Hatchet tackles the issue of plastic waste by pushing us to a more circular economic system by adding value to our plastic waste.
We focus on hard plastics, much like your coffee cup lid or what your sandwich container might be made out of.
When we began, we joined a global community of plastics recyclers, known as Precious Plastics, and built modular machinery based on shared information from that community.
Allow us to walk you through the process so you can understand how it works.
First, materials are collected on campus through hard plastic dedicated bins. Once it's taken to our lab, it is weighed out, sorted, and cleaned, and then weighed out again for accuracy.
Next, we shred the plastics using our first machine. Once shredded into a fine mulch, it looks like this.
Next, this plastic mulch is put through our second machine, which, using compression and heat, extrudes this plastic as a thin string.
This string is then cooled and wrapped onto a roll, which becomes filament for 3D printing.
3D printing utilizes plastics as the feedstock, and through heat and compression, can make objects on a platform by printing incredibly small layers over and over again.
The 3D printing market is currently valued at $8 billion globally and has predictions to rise to $33 billion by 2022.
We targeted 3D printing not only to tap into that growth potential, but also to help our campus makerspace, where students from all programs could freely explore 3D printing, basic electronics, and computing. The quality of our filament is equivalent to the industry standard, but it's cheaper because we use 100% recycled source material. The average filament roll pricing in the industry is $32.50 per kilogram. Our competitive pricing is $25 per kilogram. That's 30% less.
We have already secured $500 worth of makerspace pre-sales, an excellent indication of a guaranteed revenue stream. Not only that, but these early adopters can help us test and improve our products moving forward.
And while we fully appreciate having a platform to sell our product, this isn't our only goal. With the understanding that education has the power to plan for the future, we wanted to ensure that our fellow students had the same knowledge we had about responsible consumption.
Project Hatchet has provided material collection bins at 2 programs at SAIT, pharmacy technician and dental assistant, both of which produce massive outputs of plastic waste.
Both these programs must strictly adhere to occupational health and safety standards, so we provided them with an educational seminar on accepted hard plastics, so they could apply their knowledge independently and feel more confident about their contributions to waste diversion.
Our efforts are already being recognized. We were just informed this semester that thanks to our collaborative efforts with SAIT, our campus has been able to divert 50% of waste from landfills and the environments. This is double what we diverted last year.
And not only that, but thanks to our efforts, plastics recycling will soon become a campus-wide initiative.
We have already performed preliminary survey collections to see how people respond to our new waste stream for campus. 85% of our response were in favor of our new waste stream setup.
And we are always on the lookout for new material sources.
As such, we secured 2 pallet loads of electronics that SAIT had set for disposal. And from those electronics, we were able to save 75 kilograms of plastics.
And we even diverted 101 kilograms of metals to a recycler, installed all the screws and circuitry from our electronics for our campus makerspace.
They will be using all of these components for prototyping, robotics, and year-end capstone projects.
In summary, we've diverted 185 kilograms of plastics this year, with 43% coming from electronic waste, 38% coming from general collection initiatives, and the remaining 19% coming from our health and safety programs.
These diversions meant that 34,109 liters of water have been saved from new production, and 1 ton of carbon dioxide has been reduced.
We plan to scale our collection campus-wide, which will drastically increase our materials intake.
We are also working to expand our product variety by developing new machinery. The next 2 machines will be designed to test plastics in the building material industry and to provide injection molding options into our product line.
We are also in conversations with Sait School of Manufacturing and Automation to partner with 2 capstone project teams that would work with us on Project Hatchet.
These 2 capstones would engage students in the creation of our machines, a sheet press and an enclosed wash bay, including automation to help scale and streamline this project.
Lastly, we plan on continuing our operations directly on campus to provide employment opportunities for our international student population, who are limited in their employment commitments outside of campus.
Currently, international students at SAIT are only able to work 20 hours off campus, limiting their abilities to manage their finances while at school.
Project Hatchet not only provides them a platform to earn income, but also gives them the opportunity to find their limitless potential.
We are Enactus SAIT, and as a team, we have been able to contribute 3,227 volunteer hours,
allowing us to directly impact 388 people.
And empower 156 more.
And improve the lives of 4,190 individuals.
Not only have we been able to improve the mental health of our students, but we have been able to improve the health of our environment by diverting 185 kilograms of plastics from our landfills and our environment,
reducing 1 ton of CO2,
and saving 34,109 liters of water.
Our efforts have not gone unnoticed.
In fact, because of our efforts this year, we received the SAIT President's Student Leadership Award. The SAIT President's Student Leadership Award recognizes a student group that has demonstrated innovation and initiative in creating opportunities for SAIT, fellow students, industry, and the community.
We inspire, we create. We are Enactus SAIT.
We'll begin the question and answer period for the judges. Only judges may ask questions. You have 5 minutes. We can start now.
When you were exploring opportunities for application for this shredded plastic, what kind of things did you find out, and how did you hone in on the 3D printing?
We primarily looked at product line that was a growing industry, so we wanted to make sure that we're providing something that is going to have a lot of growth potential, but also something that has innovation and the ability to be scaled at any level. So 3D printing has the availability to have low price of entry as well as high cost entry as well.
Have you looked to expand the pickup of the hard plastics at all to off-campus locations?
We definitely have explored options in terms of our scale to reach out to the communities that are around us. When we scale the operation, we're going to either explore to doing campus sites or to move it to a community operation that would collect from the communities that's placed in.
So of the TBH initiative, when you're talking about maintaining or scaling up the operations, where is the funding or the revenue coming from to sustain this initiative?
We actually received second runner-up. Our project just began in December, so we won $500 at regionals that we will use to consider our options and look, of course, for partnerships in the future.
With regards to your Think Beyond High School project, you guys did a number of surveys before and after. What did you learn from the after surveys that you would plan to implement in future versions?
I think it's important for our surveys that not only that it's consistent, but that we focus on things that are not just post-secondary, so things like tax that can help us in case students don't go to school. Does that answer your question?
Sure.
Okay.
was the basis for how you built your Think Beyond High School new curriculum and how it differed from COM? I understand certain implications that have been put, but who built this new curriculum? How did you source that information?
Utilizing the information that we received from surveys and interactions with students, we determined what the need was, which is more of a focus on consistency and focusing on that transition as it is currently lacking. Does that answer that?
You mentioned you pre-sold to Markerspace, I think it was. Who is Markerspace, and how did you come to that kind of pre-sale arrangement?
Thank you for your question. So as the current president for the chapter here, as well as also the VP Finance of Makerspace, the Makerspace is a prototyping space for students to kind of interact and be able to explore a lot of different technical background programs, kind of an entry point. And so it's kind of an environment where people can test 3D printing, basic electronics and computing. And so we had reached out to this space initially when it began just in the fall last year.
Are you the only ones currently reusing the hard plastics into the wheel?
There are definitely other people out there that do have 3D filament that's created from a recycled source. However, they are not providing their collection for it. They're not the ones managing that material, and they focus on particular material types that they source from Alberta's current bottle recycling program. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Thank you.
The students that took your Think Beyond High School course, besides the follow-up surveys, do you have any, I guess, follow-up results that they've used to improve their lives?
So because we began in just December, we can't check that yet. However, because they are minors, we are taking that into consideration. We will have a channel that they can reach out to us.
What is the volume of plastic that you need to create a filament for like that size of roll?
That's an excellent question. So the wonderful thing about our process is there's no loss of material. So exactly 1 kilogram of plastics turns into 1 kilogram of reel. The average reel size is 1 kilo.
And do you have plans to sell your filament to places?
Absolutely. So we definitely are exploring to an online platform, but primarily right now while we sell on campus, we're looking to do a person-to-person sale. Did that answer your question? Thank you.
Your time has expired.